in the sunlight, you know, is in the trees, is it in the baby's smile? You know, where is that love that is in you and in me? It's everywhere. You know, the truth is that love. We're going to talk about what it really means to love and what is love, you know? Where is it? And I think, you know, we can kind of say, oh, love's in us. We do say that, you know, but until we experience it, until we can feel it, it doesn't mean a heck of a lot, you know? But the truth is that it's wherever we look. If we look with the eyes of that, does that make sense? That it matters where we're looking from, not what we're looking at. Because I could be looking at anything here, and if I'm looking with my head, I might not see the love that I see when I look from my heart.
Glenda.
What?
We cannot hear you.
Oh no, I had such profound words. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Maybe I just needed to talk louder?
Yes.
Is that all? Okay. So what I said is that this love, it's in all of us. It's in every one of us. It's in the energy that flows through us. And it depends where we're looking from, right? It depends if we're looking, you know, if I'm looking straight at you, Terry, and I'm looking with my head, I see something different than when I look with my heart. And so that's what this whole talk is going to be about, is about awareness. It's about where we place our awareness and where we see. Because where we see matters. Where we see matters. Because this love is in all of us. It's everywhere. It's the glue that holds all of us together. And it's so powerful. It's so powerful. I love, she said, how could I have missed it before? And I feel like I've missed it before when I've focused on everything but right here. I feel like I've missed it all. But the moment that I can drop and I can see it in your eyes, it's back. It's back. It's not localized. It can't be localized, this love, this energy. You know, it can't just be here and then gone. It's forever. Before we were born, after we die, it's what we're seeking while we're here. Everything is about love. Every talk we have might come out in a different title, but it all is about love. Same thing as God. Same thing. The energy of oneness, you know? And it's a paradox because we're seeking it. We're seeking what we are. We're seeking what we are. So what is this thing? You know, what is it? And we can call it by many different names, but I'm going to talk about awareness because this is something that we use a lot. We talk about it in Eckhart Tolle. Awareness, what is it? What is awareness really? And I'm here to tell you that it's love. It's love. Awareness is love. Your nature, your true nature is awareness. And when we get this, see, it expands my whole idea, me. This helped me to really get what God, what love was, when I thought about God being the awareness that runs through us. It's expanded awareness. That's living, it's so funny because I'm always looking through all these books, and then I end up wanting to read the book and not doing the talk. Well, I did that this time, and I thought, oh, I got this little talk to do, but I was so fascinated by this book. And it was this ebook I read, called From the Heart, and it was by somebody, Nirmala. I don't know who it is. And he explained awareness in a way that I said, oh my God, I've always heard this, and I always got it kind of at a different level, but it's like, wow, this makes so much sense with everything that I've ever heard before. And what he says about awareness, I was excited about it, and I told Judy this morning, I said, I'm getting this of who we are, of who we really are. And what he says is that awareness, that is, we're awareness, right? We're the energy of awareness, all of us. And that the awareness can be shaped by our head, right? By our mind, by our thoughts. And so when we're talking to each other, I can talk to you with my head, and my awareness flows in my head, and I create with my head. Or I can drop to my heart. Can you hear me now? Okay. I can drop to my heart, and I can create, my awareness can become bigger, can be shaped by my heart. And I can live from the heart. And my awareness, I create from the heart. Does that make sense? Because we are creators. We talk about this. We're creators. We create our life. Are we creating it? See, from our head, you know, sometimes we have to be focused, and I'm not saying that we don't use our head. You know, we need to. But if we create from our heart, we create a whole different level. We create a life that is filled with love and generosity and kindness, we create a happier life. And that's kind of what I'm trying to talk about today, is that this awareness that we are, and sometimes Judy does it in her meditations. So think about this for a minute. If you close your eyes and you go to who's looking, okay, if that makes sense. If you look into a mirror, it's not the body looking, it's the awareness behind your eyes that is seeing. Does that make sense? So that's who we are. That's who we are, and that's who we're creating from. It's the aware space. Even science now is telling us that we are the space. We are the space. And the space is filled with so much intelligence and wisdom, and if we drop there, everything we need to know is answered there. Everything we need to know is in this space. We are the source. We are our own source. We are the God source, powered by love. Powered by love. I think this is so neat. But we make the mistake of thinking we're the body-mind, and that's why, you know, we get stuck in our head sometimes. We get stuck there, you know, figuring out all these problems. I got to do this. I got to figure out this. How are we going to do this? And then finally, when you let go and you breathe in and you just take a breath, you realize that who you really are comes through, and your answers are there all along. And we start to sense there's something bigger than our head. See, in this spacious awareness, there is no problems. You know, there is no problem there. We might think there is in our head. We have to deal with it, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But that's not who we are. You know, we're playing these roles in people suits this time, but that's not who we are. The people suit will come and go, but our awareness is who we are. The love remains. I thought about that during Tony's funeral, you know. He remains. We remain. And if we identify with that essence while we're alive, then death isn't so hard. Does that make sense? Because the body is gone and you mourn that. But wow, something bigger is there. This is about experiencing life from someplace bigger than what we are used to experiencing it from. So I want to go with two quotes. This is the point I'm getting to, is that we are love, and love is forgiving. It's not forgetting, see? It's not just forgetting. And we forget that. Everything is about us. I thought about that. I went to breakfast with my family, a bunch of us. We have a huge family. And it's so funny because it's like, oh, I didn't get this. You know, my eggs are cold. But this is, you know, everybody had a gripe, right? And it was about what they could get, what they could get. And what he is saying, that love is about giving back. Thank you for serving us. Thank you for this. Thank you. Dropping to your heart and just living in that kindness. That's what he's talking about. You are filled with love when you give love rather than when you are loved. That's huge. And I think all of us could take that and live with it and move our lives forward if we just knew every day, every moment, it's about giving love. Now what's love? See, love is the awareness. It's a bigger seeing. Love is, when I say give love, I'm not going, oh my God, I just love you. You know, and just, you know, this little head love that, you know, we want to say. I'm talking about an awareness of real love. See, love is a verb. Love means to see bigger. That's what it means, is that we expand our heart and we see with our heart. We see with our heart. That means we see it all. We see the pain. We see the stuff we go through, but we see it bigger. You know, we go through the pain of our life, you know, the desperation other people have. We see the wars, we see everything. But we see it in a bigger perspective. And we give it our love. By giving it our love, we give it our presence. That's all. We see it with our presence. It's this same word. We get confused. Love we think about as this relationship thing. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a bigger love of seeing. Seeing with our heart. Seeing everything as bigger. You know, and we are so used to being able to see it with our head. And here's what I know, is that sometimes it's hard to see with love, right? When there's something that is coming to you that's really hard. And I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't expand my awareness. I can't bring love to it. But what you can do is take the next step and bring love to what you're feeling, right? Expand your heart to what you're feeling. It's okay if you're feeling like heck. It's okay, you know, if you're in pain, it's okay. You just bring love to that. You see it in a bigger perspective. So remember, love is to see in a bigger perspective, to see it all, to take it all in. the pain as well as the joys, because that's the kind of world we live in. We live in a world of duality where there's pain and where there's joy. And when we can see it all and accept it all, doesn't mean we don't do anything. And when you hear me say that, we still do things, but we accept it and live with this power of love. See? So perception is really what we're talking about. Love is a verb. It's how you see things. So we are called to bring it to every situation in our life. And I think that we have to take responsibility, right? All of us do, for what's going on in your life. Everybody has somebody they're dealing with or something that's an issue right now. And the truth is that we have to take responsibility for it. It's our deal. It's there for us to learn. It's not about the other person. It's about taking responsibility for your pain, your joys, not about theirs, what they do to you. I read this book called Recipes for a Perfect Marriage. I don't know why I read it. I don't have a perfect marriage. But it's actually a novel. It's a novel. And I didn't read the whole book, but I read excerpts because somebody had said that it was a great book. So there's 2 little paragraphs that I wish I would have written. You ever read something and you go, oh, I wish I would have written that. It's like so cool. Okay, so I'm going to read this because this touches my heart, and I could have written it. I didn't. But what my marriage taught me is that real love is only what you give. Now, they're talking about marriage, but I'm talking about any relationship, a friendship, or anything. So what my marriage taught me is that real love is only what you give. That all love is not out there waiting for you. It's in you. It's in your heart, in what you are willing to give of it. We're all capable of love, but few of us have the courage to do it properly. You can take a person's love and waste it, but you are the fool. When you give love, it grows and flowers inside you like a carefully pruned rose. Those who love, no matter what indignities, what burdens they carry, are always full of joy. We think that love is something that you get from another person, a feeling, an experience, a transfusion of aliveness and joy. Learning to become the source of your own aliveness and committing to take 100% responsibility for your pain and joy. It's about learning to fill yourself up through your creative expression, your connection to spirit, your relationship to your shadow parts, and your commitment to giving to others. That's what love's about. Love is about us. Love is about us healing ourselves, doing what we want to do, filling ourselves up, and dealing with our shadow parts. It's not about seeking it out there. It took me a while to learn that. I seeked. I seeked passion. What's the word? I sought. Yeah. I sought passion, and I had it in one of my marriages, and it's awesome. But I learned later on, when I wanted to have that back again, I'll never find that same passion. That's not true. The passion was never out there in another person. The passion's always in here. Always. I don't need another person to complete that. Maybe someday I will, but I don't need it to complete me. Do you understand? See, it's in every single one of us, in what we have. Anything else is just gravy, right? That's what my mom used to say. I'm not sure. But does that make sense? See, it's in you. When you heal yourself, when you are there to just give and love. That's why it's about giving. It's not about receiving. If you're in this life to just receive, it's, I'm sorry. It's not about that. It's not about that. So that's what this talk is. It's about, making the intention to be able to touch that awareness. And I invite you all to try it. Sometimes during, you do a really good meditation, Judy, when, I think it's in Eckhart Tolle, if you've been in that, where we drop and there's an aliveness that says, okay, close your eyes and drop. And you feel this aliveness that is inside of us that animates the body. It's not who we are, but it animates the body. That's the awareness I'm talking about. And sometimes at night I can feel it tingle. And that's who we are. And that's what I'm talking about today, is that once we get in touch with that and live from that spot, our life changes. I swear to God it does. So I'm going to close with this story because I love it. It's about Mary Martin. You know Mary Martin, the Broadway star. She was doing South Pacific, and just before she went on, she was handed a note, and it was by Oscar Hammerstein, the lyricist, and she took it and read it, and then went on stage. She did this incredible performance, and people came up to her afterwards, and they said, "Oh my God, that was the best performance you've ever done. What did you do to us? And she opened the note and she said, this is what I did. And she said, this is what Oscar Emerson gave to her. A bell is not a bell till you ring it. A song is not a song till you sing it. Love in your heart is not put there to stay. Love is not love till you give it away. And then she said, you know what, tonight I gave it away. And so that's my prayer, and that's my intention for my life, is to give it away. Thank you.